Welcome everyone to another classic stream. I don't know how to intro this, but
You're doing great, man.
I mean, we're playing. It's Rift Sharks versus Metabusters. I, of course, am a sub for Rift Sharks. So I was not playing, but I'm very excited to see how my team performed. And Metabusters, who is another. These are both top teams right now. I think the rankings are still kind of debated, maybe, but these are both teams that everyone seems to agree on as pretty good. So I'm definitely interested to see how this game turns out.
Yep, I think I've heard the fear of the Metabusters. Like every time I hear them, like the world shakes from like just how like infamous they are in the server. So I'm not too sure. I can't remember going against them too much. I don't even know if I have, but I heard they're good, and I'm excited to see how this game goes. I'm excited to see their the way they play the game, how well they are coordinated with each other, and the Rift Sharks to see if they can hold their own. It would be really interesting to see. I don't know how good Rift Sharks is. I imagine they're great. So again, I'll just love to see what they're doing.
I mean, speaking to the Rift Sharks roster, I think they stayed all the same since last season. They did pretty well. I think they placed. I'm probably getting this wrong, but I'm pretty sure they placed third. They were good, but not. I don't know. No shade.
You're completely selling. You've got everything wrong. Our roster did change. We added Brewer as our mid laner. And we finished second last season. So.
Sorry, second. And then, all right. When I say it hasn't changed, I mean the five of Dean, Avery, Noam, PB, Evan have not left. They've just added Brewer and me as subs. I think this game Brewer did play, and I believe Dean did not. Yeah, you can see here who's playing. So that is a bit of a change, but overall, pretty similar roster. They played a lot. They've scrimmed a lot. But that is the same for Metabusters. I mean, Stav, Jacob have, I believe, played together last season as well. I think they're. Yeah, all right, I might be wrong with this. I'm pretty sure they're all returning. I might be wrong with that. Maybe one or two are new.
You're correct there. Yes.
Okay.
This roster is exactly what we saw for Metabusters in finals last season.
And they won finals, so this is a team that is like arguably the best team in the server, right? And Horn, Darius is his strongest champion by far. Well, not by far, but he likes that early tempo aggro champs. His Darius, his Renekton are comfort picks. Fujer tends to play kind of whatever. His Jarvan is often banned. He likes his Sejuani, etc. Tushini, he's a big fan of his Lux, is kind of scary, but he can play basically any mage mid lane. Stav is, along with Evan, one of the better ADCs in the server for sure. His signature is Twitch. It tends to get banned even into someone like Evan who plays Nyla, which is a sort of typical counter because how comfortable he is on it. And then Jacob can play whatever. Yeah. I don't know, any comments?
Well, I will say, I've always said something about Darius. I went against a lot of Dariuses back in my day, as in like a week ago. Darius is like very specifically a matchup where if you don't let him get like 2 to 3 kills in lane, he's not that useful. He's good, but like he really peaks after that like 3 kill mark. If you give him 3 kills, 2 to 3, he will solo carry a game without any issue. So usually the Darius wants to play for a really early game aggression, obviously. But if the top laner can play around that, the enemy top that's going against them can play around that, then usually they can completely shut them down and just not be able to give them that prio. And top lane will do fine at that point, but it's really hard to not allow that to occur. So that's interesting to see. I always like seeing a Darius because it makes the game so like snowbally and interesting to watch. If the Darius gets a kill, you know the game's already ruined. So it's like instantly the sadness just goes like for any team that's the winning team is just, it's going to be much higher chance for them winning if the Darius gets a kill. So everything else, there's not really much else I would say, honestly. I think everything else looks good.
I mean, something that's interesting about this team is that because of the strength of their bot lane, they often play through their bot lane as well. They don't just play through the top lane. So it becomes a bit of a double threat. That is, I wouldn't say that's quite the same for Rift Sharks. Actually, to some degree it is. So with Rift Sharks, PB is okay. Not the. You know what? Nah, PB slander. He's not the best support on the server, but he's one of the best. And I think often he's very, very good at his roam timers. So Rift Sharks is very good at fighting for objectives with Noam, Gruer, and PB, who are all very good at rotating to them. And then Avery and Evan kind of switch off who has prio based on where objectives are, basically. So a lot of the games hinge on, okay, can Evan get an early lead in Snowball? Can Avery get an early lead in Snowball? Or can they at least like stabilize if they're playing weak side? Because I think they usually succeed at that, but usually where they end up losing games is because one of those two is kind of left to dry a bit, and they like just get kind of fisted.
I hear what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting game because of the fact that both bot lanes are obviously very strong, both top laners are comfortable and also like playing a lot of early champs. Though both also do sometimes go more long term because their team needs it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see Norm in the jungle. I played a couple of games with him, at least when I was like practicing. He does very well. He listens very well. He has great comms, and he very much understands what he's doing and what he wants to do in every game. So I'm assuming the team, he's going to be the same thing. He's going to know exactly what his plan is before the game even starts. You look at the roster of who they're going against, the champions they're going against. He's like, okay, we're gonna play for this lane. We're gonna play for this lane. Like, he knows what he's going to do, and I really like how he thinks. I think he thinks really ahead. So again, a good jungler is a very important for a team comp. A jungler can win or break games just based on that. If the top laner is having a bad time, the jungler comes topside, not to just get a kill, but to push the wave or set the wave up in a position where the top laner is now ahead. Like a jungler can win games just off just being good, and I think Norm can do that easily if he knows what he's doing, which I believe he does.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, the one thing that I think Fujer and Noam are both strong junglers. I think that what sets them apart is that Noam is, I think, a bit more confined to non-carry junglers. His Kayn is good, but it tends to be more red, like Bersery, whereas I think Fujer is maybe... I think sometimes he feels a bit more of a carry role in his team, like with that Jarvan or something else, that can do a bit more work. And part of that is also... I mean... Part of that is also that both teams do work through their mid lane, but I think Rift Sharks is maybe a bit more reliant on having Brewer as a hyper carry, especially AP hyper carry, whereas I think Tushini maybe is a tiny bit more free to be, play like a Lux, which is a bit more of a supportive role, right? I think both teams are pretty similar in terms of how they play. Strong bot lane like to play through bot lane, but both have aggressive top laners they can play through. Both supports are good at roaming. Both junglers tend to play for team or play champs that are for team, and both mid laners like their AP carries. So yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the case. It looks like from the what supports played, I forgot which side it was. It wasn't Rift Sharks, correct? There was this big support type that was very hard to engage, which again is just meant to be a playmaker. And I think that'd be like really interesting to see. Is just kind of like how the support will push for a fight. So that'd be really interesting to look at.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know too much. Honestly, I don't know too much about the teams. Exactly. Yes. Rift Sharks with PvP. It looks like, again, those are really, obviously, except for Nami, those are really hard engaged champions that could completely set up a fight. And also dives. The Leona, the Rakan, and the Nautilus, and even Rel, all of them are great dive champions. So that's, again, if they're able to, play around that, the jungler can just go bot side and just dive them easily and get a really head start just in the game, just off that alone, as if they play that correctly.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the Nami... Maybe I don't think I'm leaking strats here. Like that 99% of the time is going with the Hui. They don't typically play AD carry and like Enchanter because of the fact that oftentimes PB really likes to make an impact on the map, and that's easier with engaged champs. But then with Hui, I think it's just because they have to kind of sacrifice laning a bit more. Though honestly, I don't know the idea behind it. I know it's a popular combo. But then, if you look at Jacob, I think Jacob is a bit more likely to play Enchanters. Like, Jacob has a few Enchanters he can play pretty well. His Nami, don't quote me on this, but I think his Lulu's not too bad. And I want to say he can play Renata pretty well, but I'm not 100%. I don't know. It's hard to comment until we see draft, but...
Exactly, yeah. I'm having a little bit... That's the thing, is, like, you can always speculate... Oh, is that the draft?
Okay, there's the draft.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, hey, perfect timing. Okay, if we're looking at Rift Sharks here, I'm looking at their comp. This seems like a really good engage comp already. Sejuani can just go. It looks really good for just an all-in, right? They also do have disengage with the Rakan. For the looks of it, to kind of push them away as well and be able to go in and out. That looks really good to me. A lot of movement. I think that's a really good comp in my opinion. I think that has a very much a specific goal and they can play around what they're looking for. It looks like just hard engage. And for meta busters,
I mean, here, really quick, doing a draft, right? You can see that, like, the standard ban is Twitch against meta busters because of Stav. That he's not a Twitch one trick, but it's definitely his main. But you can see here that because they left the Nyla open, they instead just decided not to ban it and then picked the Nyla to force them off the Twitch. They ended up going Nami. So interesting. So Nyla was a response to Nami. I'm assuming because they wanted to keep. Oh, I guess they picked Nami, Nyla and support, but. Oh my god, Nyla Rakan is extremely aggressive bot lane combo because of how, just their kits work and they combo off each other to go in. Whereas Nami, I'm really forgetting the champ's name. Nami Sivir is extremely passive. Like, your game plan is scale up until you can get a bunch of movement speed and run at people, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting how we see that. With that counter pick, you're picking Urgot into. I don't know that matchup. You do know that matchup. How is that matchup?
I don't play much Cho'Gath. So Cho'Gath is just gonna be a scaling champion. I think Urgot will have a really good early game prio because again, Urgot's just a really strong early game champ. Mid to late game, I think that what the plan is for Metabusters is again just play for a front to back comp from the looks of it. Is just have Syndra just poke them out in a fight. Cho'Gath just stands in front with as a meat shield and just takes as much damage as possible while they just do their damage and make sure no one can engage. So I think Cho'Gath early game, this could go all downhill if Cho'Gath dies a lot early. If he can go equal, if he goes equal, it's fine. But early game, it's Urgot favored 100%.
Okay. Yeah, if we look mid, it's clear that Rift Sharks is playing for an early game, right? Nyla Rakan does scale well, but I don't think it's scaling as well as Sivir Nami. You have a heavy engage comp with. You have the LeBlanc as well, which isn't going to sail as hard as the Syndra. You're right about the front to back. It's basically front to back versus full engage. So what we'll have to see this game is if, can Gruer, can Evan get on that back line and pop the Syndra, pop the Sivir, pop the Nami, and I'm definitely curious to see how Xin Zhao does zoning, because that's going to be probably his main role this game.
Yeah, and I think the Zen will 100% have the ability to completely disengage and throw everyone away. So he can, instead of having to go all in, he can just play for, stopping the engage and then going in after they use all their abilities. So interesting to see this, but I guess we can see at the start of the game. Maybe we can look at an early fight, or maybe we can look for early wards, try to get some prio on where the jungler might be. But interesting to see how they play it out.
Yeah. I will say, hey, every time I stream, you're getting strats, because Rift Sharks does not like to invade much, which, if you play with or against me, I'm not a huge fan of. Not invading, that is. But that is the same for most of the teams in the server. Very few teams.
I'm gonna cut you off. Why is Norm representing fruitcakes right there? What the fuck was that emo? Hey! Representation for the fruitcakes team. I respect that. Sorry,
because that was with who's that with? That I forget who, but I think Tusini might have been on fruitcase. I think Noam and someone else was on fruitcase. I forget who though. So often, if you're together on a past franchise, they'll go mid.
Gotcha. That makes sense. All right. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off completely there.
No. I'm just yapping.
Gotcha. Okay. Now it's just for the very fun early game, no interaction laning.
Ooh, cheese?
Bot lane, they might look for a cheese here.
The thing is that bot lane, Nyla level 1 is extremely weak. Not in a fight, obviously, but in just terms of you don't really have the range to trade. So often cheesing for the first 3 minions, like, you know, some top laners do that they're weaker, is something that they can do.
Yeah, 100% Sivir will get the early prio here, so that's the one thing they need to worry about. I think, yeah, probably until level 3, Sivir will have prio, and then after that, ooh, okay, that's a really good hit on that E. Let's see. As you can see, the Urgot's completely taking prio. He's now level 2, and now top lane's going to be completely pushed in. He pushed it in a little bit quick, but that's Urgot's passive for you. That makes sense. And yep, makes sense. Bot lane's getting pushed in too. This is completely going every way we thought it would be.
Both junglers seem like they're going to go for a full clear here. Zin's out pathing top, but possibly the little effect because of the fact that the wave will bounce. Though we'll see if they try to make a dive. But with the Cho'Gath, it's kind of not doable. And then Gnome pathing bot to see if he can make a play. And given the state of the wave, they definitely could. I mean, this wave will maybe slowly push out. I don't think they can crash it that hard. And Gnome will be here soon with no cover for Metabusters, so they'll have to play it careful.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Urgot top lane right now. As you can see, he's getting path towards. I don't know if they know that. I don't think they got any wards in the jungle. So at some point, he's going to get ganked. I don't know if he knows that yet, but he's in a risky position here because he's getting weak-sided right now. So it's really...
Yeah, he really needs to play a bounce.
That's a really good W. That's a really good all-in by Nyla. About to kill Nami here. It's going to be a really good pick. Oh!
Flashes come out from basically all of bot lane, but the first blood goes over to Metabusters.
Okay.
And Avery trades it back top lane.
Ooh.
That's a solo ball though.
Oh my god. Oh wait, there might be something happening here.
Evan's still forcing a fight.
Oh no. Oh, this ain't good. The wave state's also really bad too. Sejuani can fix this, but it doesn't look like the wave state's really good.
Yeah, it's a disastrous start for Rift Sharks. Oh my god.
Oh no. So yeah, Rift Sharks red side. Not Free K, sorry. Metabusters side. Gotcha.
I mean, they managed to trade one back top lane, so top lane will definitely be a lane to play for now, but with the loss of minions, I mean, they're down, what, 10 minions already?
Ooh,
bot lane.
Good flash catch. Oh, they're really getting catch on mid here with the lack of mobility. This is a really smart play on them. That was perfectly done. That's perfect. That was really well played.
And yeah, I mean, even here, you can see the strength of PB's roams. He's, what, level 3? And he's already roaming just off base. People can't really expect it. This is kind of his signature, right? Making plays on the map, getting, I mean, Gruer and Avery both strong laners, getting them ahead and making plays. I mean, this game has worked well.
And it sounds like it was the perfect time to roam because Nyla was getting back to lane and both bot lane back, so Nyla wasn't in any trouble to, you know, to be there.
Yeah, unpunished.
Yeah, perfect timing. Okay. Durgot's trying to kind of get back on his groove. Again, he's gonna... As long as he's not good farm. He's not bad farm. I mean, everyone's doing pretty well, I think. I think everyone's pretty equal, except for Nyla, a little bit behind. But again, it's to be expected after that death. Ooh.
Fighting top, fighting mid.
Yeah, this is not a...
This is not the best fight for Cho'Gath.
That Q was crazy. Oh,
I think
no.
That's just a kill.
Does he have flash? No, I don't think... Oh,
Cho'Gath burns flash.
Well played.
Cho'Gath trades it back to kill. Nami disengages well. Gets some health down.
Oh no, he fucked up the QW, didn't he? Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Not quite enough to burst to kill, but enough to potentially shove him out of lane. Though the tower shots did get long enough that trading back might not be an option.
I think this is not too... oh, this is not good. Okay. Oh, getting invaded on. This is actually a really smart play by Metabusters here. Because the jungler can't do anything. He's too low. He has complete prio to take his bot side. There's no one to really stop him. But he is going for grubs to get a good trade. I don't think anyone knows he's taking it right now. Mid can't really roll. Oh, mid's looking.
Yeah, top's rotating. Mid's looking, but I think actually that might be enough to shove him off. Gnome's taking the reset instead of taking it. Smart play.
Well, how many grubs did he? Did he get any grubs out of it? I actually don't know.
He got one. You can see the top.
That makes sense. Okay.
But he does lose entire bot side for it, and I don't think they know. I mean, they know that Nami walked, but I'm not sure they know that everything was taken.
Well, he probably can assume that because just based on where Xin was and where Nami was, it looks like he's going straight topside now. It would make sense that his bot side's gone. So now will he be able to invade? No, because Nami is now hovering the Grubs, which is a really good positioning on their part.
We do see Rakan matching. I think this might be even a 4v4 early, which could definitely decide it because not the game, but the early for sure. I mean, mid lane is still kind of a back and forth.
That's some good damage right before the fight starts.
Yeah, that might be really enough to push them off it potentially.
I don't know the top wave shape, but Cho'Gath roaming here might be really bad for him as well. Which is, no matter what. Oh, that's a really good catch on Nami. Oh, this is not looking good. Rift really pulling it back.
Yeah, I mean their team play here has been really, really good. They've got, that's what I was saying earlier. Their laners know when to rotate. They're good at taking team fights. They leave Evan alone on the side lane when the objective's up, and they're comfortable doing that. And we see here that the other team just got punished for it because, as you said, like that engage by Gruer mid was really strong. Poked down Syndra so she couldn't really walk up as aggressively as she would have liked. And then they catch out Nami and that's it.
That's some really good damage there. But I'm not too sure how, That's some good damage, but I don't know if it's a worth trade because right now what's going to happen is that Nyla can't back at all. Like, Sivir could back for free right now if they wanted to. I don't know if they will. But Nyla has to push that wave back in.
No, you're right. I mean, Evan is... I'd actually make the case that Evan might be the best ADC at solo killing other ADCs. However, he does tend to... He's maybe a bit weaker with the wave states than some others. So he's definitely a fun ADC to watch.
That's a good flash. I mean, they're completely abusing the Syndra mid. I don't think people do this enough. Syndra is strong, but because of the lack of mobility, it's super easy to gank, and they're playing around that really well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw that the Syndra was the -- pick. I mean, the first pick for blue side, right? And Gruer had a response in mind. Gruer picked the Syndra. Gruer picked the LeBlanc, knowing what was happening and knowing that he could deal with it.
Yeah, looks like the stream's jittering a bit. I don't know what's happening. Is that just on ours side?
That's, I think, Dean's fault.
Dean, you're trolling. Oh no. I mean, we still can look at it. It's all good.
All right, guys. Everyone, give us a no, Dean.
No, Dean. This is really good on vision. Yeah, this.
Hear that they're going a bit more passive until the next dragon. No objectives are up right now, so it's just kind of back and forth in the lanes.
Nyla is scaling, correct? I honestly don't know bot lane matchups. I feel like I should know more about them. I really don't.
Yeah, so Sivir is one of the best hyperscalers in the game, I'd say, just because of how reliant she is on, like, she's an extremely mobility-based champ, which tends to mean that you are doing very well late game when you have a lot of damage and, like, attack speed. Nyla also actually does scale really well, especially because of her passive, which shares the XP, of course, and gets her ahead faster. However, she's more of a burst champ, so what that can mean is that if you can't get a good engage, you can just get poked out and just die, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the good thing is that their team is basically crafted for Nyla, right? Rakan is a really strong engage. Urgot and Sejuani both serve as consistent engage as well, backing the Nyla up.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
I was gonna say this earlier, like the top lane, that gank did so much for Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath went for those plates. Usually that's a really bad idea if it's too greedy, because again, you might ruin your tempo. But he has TP. He's gonna TP right back top lane and be way ahead of this Urgot now after those 2 plates and that kill. It's looking really good for them. Well, he got an assist, but still, it's still really good. Though he's not perfectly ahead, he still has a lot going for him.
What I find a bit crazy is that I think he's going for Heartsteel, which to me just seems greedy. You have a full...
He should be TPing. Wait, he did not have TP?
I don't know. I mean, you can see he did.
That's weird. Oh.
I think they want the TP up for Dragon, is my guess.
Yeah, that might be the case. We'll see.
Because if he TPs here, then Urgot gets tempo on Dragon, and that could be an issue long term.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, wait, doesn't he get canceled? He gets canceled. He got canceled. Oh, this is not looking good for Metabusters. If that's what their entire plan, we'll see what happens.
You see they turn. Nyla gets the first kill, shutdown, second kill.
Whoa.
They trade one back, but Zinzao's trying to go in, not enough. He gets popped as well.
Oh my
Nami
god.
retreating.
MVP that Urgot. That actually was a really, really good play.
Yeah, we can see he walks down then.
Oh.
No, sorry, he TPs as well.
That was still absolutely perfect. Without that hit, that would have been a much more different fight for Rift Sharks there. That was super well done by that Urgot. I was just looking at the map and I saw the flash, and I was just like, I knew it was,
yeah, exactly.
That was the best play he could have done. But the Cho'Gath TP, I will say, I know a lot about this. So he lost a lot for it. Like the thing is, he stayed really long. If he just TP'd, he wouldn't have lost. Even if he TP'd bot, I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Even if he got canceled, if it didn't get canceled, I still think he lost a lot for that. I wouldn't have done it ever, but I can see where he was coming from with that play.
I think you also have to be worried with the... By having no Cho'Gath TP, they basically cannot take that fight because they have a guaranteed win with the Urgot. Yes, you'll true. Yes, you'll get resources back with the Cho'Gath top lane.
Mm-hmm.
However, like the issue is that even just losing one or two members in a fight bot is getting the same. You're losing the same amount bot lane or in mid lane or somewhere, and you're losing Drake, right? So I can see why they were unwilling to TP there.
No,
it didn't matter in the end. I mean,
it really didn't. This is looking pretty good. It's looking like a really good game. It looks like it's completely in Rift Shark's favor. Urgot's completely cooking top lane right now, getting those plates, which is really good to see. The jungles, both of the junglers are playing really well. They're both playing to their strengths. They're catching people out. I think Rift Sharks just got really lucky with that that dragon play that really put them ahead. But now it's really interesting to see what's going to keep going. Because I still think it's a pretty even game. Obviously down, but I still think they can easily make a play.
I mean, again, Heartsteel feels a bit greedy, honestly. I mean, if we look at what you're thinking about, you're not playing through any lane, really. I mean, Syndra is playing to survive this LeBlanc who's ahead. Their bot lane is playing to survive this ahead Neela and get to a point where Sivir Nami can do real work. Cho'Gath, your job is to just be a frontline wall, just like, I mean, as is the Xin Zhao's to some extent, because if you're engaging on an engaged comp, it can be a bit sketchy. So I just feel like Heartsteel, you're losing too much potential early for these early fights where you just risk getting so far behind that it doesn't matter how well you scale, you're just going to lose, right? Whereas if you go something like Unending Despair, it'll help you a lot more in lane, and then it'll also help you in the game more, right? Because in those early fights, you'll have that to deal with the Nyla, and you don't need to do damage. You have a Syndra, you have a Sivir,
Oh, this is a really big fight top lane. I don't know if they knew that Sejuani was there, but they were looking for a complete counter.
It's a great turn.
Ooh.
Tuccini bursts him down, manages to get the kill. Now,
this is looking pretty good. That was a pretty good trade for Metabusters. Oh, okay, they might, if they get a kill, these might be really good. They're still losing the fight. Oh, if Cho'Gath gets caught out, doesn't look. Oh, still a good trade. I think it was 1-for-1, correct? Yeah, it was 1-for-1, but I still think, Metabusters lose out on a good amount there. I mean, Syndra gets the wave, honestly. It's not too bad. But they are catching bot lane, so actually they're completely... If they get first tower here, it's going to be even better. See what they do. They're playing the dive perfectly.
They're looking at a dive. Tower's low. The question is, can they do it successfully? We see that Rakan does not have ult. Nyla does. That's a big way to turn a fight, however.
Syndra TPing. LeBlanc is pulling up.
Tower's down. They go in on Xin Zhao. Nyla goes in.
Really good
tries to trade it back. Can't quite get it. Xin Zhao barely makes it out with his R, and two go down. Gruer simply hobbling away.
We have Rift Sharks not Rift Sharks, sorry. Metabusters completely turned that. They look like they're at even gold now, very close. They got first tower. Are we able to see feats of strength through this, or no? Actually, I'm still kind of getting used to this.
I actually don't know. I mean, you can look at boosts. If you look at items,
I don't think both of them will have them yet. Yeah, both. I don't think anyone has.
Because first three kills. First three kills went over to Rift Sharks. First tower, I believe, just went over to Metabusters in that bot lane, and then Big engage here on the Urgot. Can Urgot make it out? 2v1. He's almost winning. Xin Zhao's low.
Oh, okay.
Follows up with the Sejuani. Trades jungler for top laner, but now Nami and team is here to help. And that looks like it was maybe a play too early. I mean, Evan's not there. Sivir is. Guru's not quite in a position to help. He's dead, actually.
I think Dean typed something. I did not see what he said for a second there. But yeah, no, that was absolutely a little bit too early on Urgot. I think that completely caught them out, and I think they forced an engage that probably was just lost after that point, which happens, of course. Everyone's gonna, make a misplay like that. But yeah, it kind of gave them the free rift, and I think 2 people died for it, or even 3 actually. I think
Yeah, they got 3 there for 1, which is not exactly what you want. Oh wait, no, they didn't even get. Did I say that wrong? They didn't even get Xin Zhao. I thought they did.
No, I don't think they got anyone.
Oh wow.
Yeah. The looks of it, Meta Busters is completely back. They were like 4K gold down, and now they're actually
2K up. Yeah.
2K up. They completely turned it around with that
not
bot
a good look
dive.
for Rift Sharks.
Yeah, they completely play with that bot dive really well. So again, these junglers that can completely switch games out, because it really helps with those dives. So it's really interesting to see how they do. Because I don't know about this dragon, they're a little bit behind, and Urgot is pushing with. So it's gonna be a 4v4. I'm gonna see how they play it out. They might even give the dragon if they have to, because it's not too bad. Okay, fight top lane, not too bad.
I mean, you can see in these fights just because he has. I mean, he now has the anti-heal with the Bramble, but I mean, you're not winning that fight against Urgot with the Heartsteel. You need to have the armor of an enemy to spare if you want to make a fight like that, or even just something like Sunfire, some kind of item that can give you the armor to deal with the Urgot, even with the Black Cleaver. Right now, he's just shredding the armor and shredding him down. It's not going to be enough.
Oh, that's a really good Rakanna. Oh, it gets completely canceled by Nami. They can't even get in with the Rakanna. That was a really good.
You see TP coming down. Cho'Gath's still down.
The Nylar, double hit, not bad. Syndra's pushing out, trying to get away from the fight. Oh, they still win it. That was really well played on Nami's part, but it just wasn't enough.
And Urgot here managing to catch out the Nami on his own. Good TP, managed to get a kill. Secures Dragon, possibly secures bot tower, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it seems that going straight for bot here would be really good from LeBlanc, which I think they're going to do right now, because that's secured guaranteed, so try to push as many waves as they can. Urgot's farming mid, completely fine. They can't take mid, because Syndra's just going to clear the wave, so yeah, they just path towards bot, take the tower if they can, or at least push the wave, and it looks really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, actually, Syndra decides to leave mid lane. Oh, Urgot leaves too. Oh, I don't know if he knew, yeah, because that was a really weird roam on Syndra. Urgot had a free mid lane tower if he kept pushing. It was a really weird roam, but I mean, I don't think it's that bad, because they get tempo on their back, so they can get back to the game quicker. So that's not bad.
Yeah.
I was gonna say for Cho'Gath, I wouldn't have win Heartsteel here, like you said. The main issue I have with the Heartsteel is that Urgot, you can't all in him. If you walk in for a Heartsteel stack, he'll just full combo you and do at least half your HP, and at most just kill you. So a Ninja Tabby, even Warden's Mail, like just having the Warden's Mail is a good counter to Urgot. That's a little secret tech. Urgot, Ninja Tabby, Warden's Mail are really good counters to him. I played against a lot of Urgots.
I mean, I do like the Bramble.
The Bramble is not bad. The Bramble is not bad. Going Thornmail, I don't know about that.
Actually, can we talk about ball lanes build right now? I mean, maybe I'm wrong on this, but Nyla going Collector versus Standard, but that item second is a bit surprising to me. I mean, they have exactly one one armor stacker on the other team. Someone who has yet to build any armor besides one item.
It's a really good catch mid. Oh, if he gets it. Oh, does he get it?
Sivir managed to barely stay.
I'm speechless. They're playing really well. This team, both of these teams are like
neck and neck for you.
Yes.
Okay.
It's absolutely, the stream's kind of absolutely fucked. It's like,
okay. It left me speechless for a different reason. But that kill isn't allowed to convert into Otacon. The question is, will MetaBusters try to make a play? We see they're grouping. They don't have 2 members, but Otacon does a lot of damage. It might be possible to make some play in the back end of this. But it seems that with 5, it's just not enough.
Yeah, because listen, they're going to take mid to get something out of it, is what you usually should do. This is the, I forgot the name of it, but it's a resurrect, you can resurrect, or whatever, the GA really OP, unfair Otacon right here. I don't know the exact name, but ooh, I think we got a message. Oh, is it fixed? It did not fix it for me. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of weird lag on our side where it's kind of weird and jittery. I'm not too sure why.
You blame it on Dean and move on.
Hey, Dean, it's all your fault. It happens. We all understand.
Sorry, no shade, no shade. Please don't. Please put me in, coach. Please put me in, coach. Please.
But like I was kind of saying, it seems that these teams are consistently neck and neck. At first, Metabusters was ahead by 2k gold, which isn't significant, but like it looks like they're completely flipping about like who gets the most gold, who's winning these plays. But then Rip Sharks just come back with a huge play mid lane. Oh, that looks so much better.
Making a dive. Tuna, can they turn? I mean, it might be enough. They get 1 for 1. But the
1 for 1,
but
to get the resurrection. Yeah, this is perfectly fine. Now, what Sejuani should do is probably pass topside to stop that Cho'Gath from pushing. Or maybe LeBlanc will do it, which is perfect calls on their part just to grab that wave.
Oh.
If Urgot can get anything out of this.
Going on to Urgot. Urgot trying to make a play here. Going in. Oof.
Oh, unlucky.
Barely misses it.
Still has the resurrection, but it kind of wastes it, which is really sad. But, again, it could be worse.
Good to make plays with it, right? That's the priority.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're getting Syndra ult. You're getting some. I mean, you're dying, but you're not losing too much on the side. Syndra has it back.
I love these
this is
early
exactly what they have to
prio. I love these early ward Rakan prios. Like that's such an important thing as a support, and I think supports in this server, especially on these teams, are really good at it. Is getting early wards before the dragon starts. He even backs and then comes back into lane to have even more wards before the fight
is
starts.
The ward connoisseur, bro.
I love it. This is really good. 70. Oh my god, this is beautiful. I'm loving these wards. I'm sorry, I go crazy about them. It's so easy to make plays with them because now they have full prio. Look at that. Look at that ward control. They like the enemy jungle or the enemy team or Metabusters just doesn't have.
No, exactly. I mean, these three really jungle support mid are extremely good at taking space and allowing for these their side laners to just use their weight and bully people. I mean, both Evan and Avery are very strong laners, and I think what makes this team really shine is having either Dean or Gruer mid, Noam jungle, having PB support, especially with those wards, with that good rotating and making stuff work. I mean, that's not to say Metabusters not doing the same thing. I mean, they're extremely strong at grouping like you've seen here, making sure they get stuff out. When the Alacon was being taken, they got mid tower. They're good at trading objectives and staying cool even when behind. And there's a lot of games where they've fallen behind and they've just punched up and kept winning. I mean,
yeah. Again, I love the idea. Like a lot of teammates or a lot of teams just don't realize that like if you're losing a dragon, get something out of it. It sucks, I promise you, it does. But if you can get a tower for it, it kind of alleviates that pain a little bit, and you can play around that extra tower you took. Because the next time you take another tower, it could be inhib, it could be even more, and then you're just gonna be having a lot more prio. So it's like losing a dragon, unless it's like soul or something. You can get something out of it. That's the most important thing. Though, now that they're all back and they're kind of slow on their tempo, it looks like Rakan's going to do the same thing, get ward prio, and then be able to possibly get that Baron. Urgot's pushing bot lane, which is really good. Which is, I think he's just playing for split this game, which I think kind of makes sense. Though their team is a kind of an engage comp, I feel like they would get a lot from having Urgot on their, in those team fights. But I don't think they need him, because Syndra's, I think, really strong. And having her be forced in the side lanes to farm pushes Metabusters in a really bad spot a lot of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm just yapping. Either way, I think it's really interesting in the way they're kind of playing this. They're getting ward prio again for the Baron because I think they're all hovering around it because they're just trying to see what they can get out of it.
Yeah, both these teams are extremely comfortable with team fighting. They tend not to have people play through side lane. They tend to like having those side lanes be able to play for the objectives. They're not quite there's some other teams that prefer to have maybe a side laner do a bit more work on themselves, like get more for themselves. But both these teams value objectives a lot. I've seen by these supports roam early, or early and often. And I think this will definitely be possibly a deciding fight here. I mean, we see that Both have 3 grubs, nothing insane pushing here. None are threatening anything. Well, Rift is threatening Soul. However, it's Chemtech Soul, which is typically considered one of the worst. So I think whoever gets this Baron will definitely be able to control a lot of the game.
Yeah. I noticed someone in the chat saying, talk about the fights. Okay, see, I don't think they understand. Oh, okay, Syndra's getting a really good catch. That's super good.
Incredible pop on Gruer, yeah.
Yeah, this is just completely gets bot prio now. They can push down, and Syndra can keep pushing, forcing Nyla to come out. They might get a free dragon from this. If Syndra does have TP, correct? Yeah, it's just TP's there, get a free Baron instantly. This is really well played on their part. That's a really good catch. But I will rant in 1 second after this fight ends.
The issue is that they need really to have a threat on the Baron. They need it look good at one of their stronger members. I mean, right now, Evan is the big threat, right?
Yeah, if they get Urgot, this might be really good. Keep in mind, LeBlanc does have TP for the next fight coming up. If getting Urgot here, this might give them the free chance to just go straight for Baron here.
This looks like a strong Baron angle, yeah. The question is, there is a real chance that Rift Sharks tries to flip this. I mean, Rakan Nyla can do a lot of work, you know, they have a lot of AoE damage, they have extremely high burst, especially with a Gnome engage, maybe can pop that Sivir shield, maybe can get some of that front line, get some stuns down. They seem to be making an angle here, and Gruer TPing behind, clearly he's looking for an angle. Evan positioning aggressively, no backup,
not bad
up, force him down, Stav's dead, Tushini's dead, and now they have to back up. I mean, Cho'Gath, all that wall, you know, it's kind of rough to do anything with their dispersing everyone else. I mean, we see Fujer fighting, but going down. Gruer manages to hold out, and now Cho'Gath will get whittled down, and that might be enough to flip the Baron themselves. Yes, I think that's gonna be. I mean, that's an ace. That might be. That looks like game. I'm gonna be honest. They can't end here for sure, but with this Baron, they can get top tier 2, mid tier 2, possibly bottom tier 1. This will set them up to take Baron, to take Soul extremely well. From there, they can keep pushing, and it's looking hard to see how you can beat a 4.5k deficit here, even though it may seem so small. We see them getting that vision control, pushing those waves out. Making some pressure mid. Oh, Gruer, be careful not to get caught. That's the Cinder ult. Gruer lives, but barely. Might have to reset. Doesn't have TP, so he'll have to walk back. We'll see if Metabusters can do anything with this little bit of time they bought. Then again, they don't have Cinder ult for, you know, for the Nyla. They don't have anyone to burst her down. Okay, technical issue from a fellow caster. PB engages, we see the engage, Nabi ult returns, Gruer goes down, Tushini is still trying to fight. On the side, bot lane, Metabuster's bot lane is trying to contain this Sejuani, who really peeled them off and did a lot of work here. I mean, Fujer had an incredible engage along with Korn, and they got a lot of work done, but they really couldn't capitalize on it because of the fact that Gnome was holding off this Sivir-Nami combo. They did basically no damage in that fight because they were all trying to kill that Sejuani, who eventually did go down, but 1 for 2, not the worst outcome. I mean, especially given that they have Baron still, they had to give drag, which is very unfortunate, but they're still in a position where they can exert their influence on the map, and it's not enough to really flip the game state yet.
Ali's internet did just crash, so I'm going to try my best to just do play-by-play, but if you want to fill everything else.
Yeah, sure. We see both teams starting to get back on the map. We see also that there are no pressing objectives here, so I'm interested to see. Both teams seem to be staying towards top side, which is interesting given that bottom tier 3 is still up for the Rift Sharks to take. However, we see Oh, welcome back. Metabuster seems to be making a play on the Urgot here. And unfortunately, Noam and PB don't seem to be in a place where they can help out. I mean, they're running. We'll see if they take this 3v3 here. Oh, wow. They get out. They have to back off. Yeah, they couldn't burst down Urgot fast enough that they were comfortable taking what would end up being a 4v3 and be a bad fight for them. Though we do see Stav is angling from behind. Are they going to look for a pinch here, maybe? No, he backs off. They don't know that Gruer is in the area, but they know Gruer is not on the map, and that is enough to scare them off.
I am back. Hello, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back at it. These fights are looking really interesting. It looks like, since I was kind of just running it, that was a really, the play for the chicken's really greedy.
Yeah, and they can't really get anything off it either. Luckily,
yeah, it was a really good pick.
There's no objectives, but that you don't want that happening when you can see all three of them rotating towards that topside tower, forcing Metabusters to make a decision. Are you going to let this bot side tower fall? Apparently yes, but they're going to try to hold on to this top tower, hold on to this mid tower, and that's still good for the side of Rift Sharks.
I would say this is really well played on Rift Sharks. Really good macro, in my opinion. After getting that pick, they all do 1-3-1, where they can't react. Like they're going to lose something guaranteed, and they played that really well. After that
exactly.
Really good pick. Okay, going in. Oh, this is another really good pick if they can get it. What is that damage? Holy shit, Nyla. Okay, that was just a really well played on Rakan, going in for an R. Again, exploiting that Syndra and just completely one-shotting them. And Nyla is balanced, I promise you that. And
Nyla is indeed a champion.
That was really well played. Now, I was going to say, I don't even think I can say it because I think they're about to go for another play. They know that Rakan just back. They might be interested in looking for something. I mean, honestly, they can look for something.
It's so beefy. I mean, Jack Show plus... I mean, Jack Show alone is enough to make him just a wall, but Sterax and Black Cleaver too, just giving him stats that make it rough to get through him.
Yeah, it makes it almost impossible. This is really interesting to see. Yeah, this is a really interesting build. I haven't seen a very strong bruiser build like this. Granted, I haven't seen that many Urgots, but this is a very good build. Okay, looking for an Urgot pick, not able to get it, of course. Cho'Gath pick, not able to get it, of course. That's fine. They got Dragon and Baron coming up. I wonder what they're going to be playing for here. It looks like this is, for Rift Sharks, this is Soul. But again, is it worth it to take the Soul to risk an Elder Drake fight? Later into the game? We'll see.
I mean, I think part of the issue is that if they don't take it now, you know... If you think you're going to be losing in 5 minutes, you're going to be losing in 10, you know what I'm saying?
Did it again. Oh... This ain't looking good.
Xin Zhao making a bit too aggressive plays when they don't have enough control of the map. I mean, they need to be playing as a team here, and they're not, and that's going to give Baron. I mean, you can see they're not going for Dragon, so I wonder if they're going to try to make a play here. They're angling towards mid, they're pinging it now. They're running right now, seeing if they can burst it down. Urgot backing already with that TP up, likely going to TP bot lane and see if he can get a good flank here. Okay, he's running out. Everyone's rotating, converging on the map. We see, and they managed to get it first. They won't be able to get there in time. I'm surprised they didn't have, Urgot TP to contain or something to try to punish them for this decision. But 1-for-1 is not the worst thing given your jungler's dead. You're now threatening Soul yourself as well. You're denying the Soul. It's not that bad.
No, they're looking really good. I mean, they're so ahead right now. They're basically just can do front to back and they win, in my opinion. The Syndra can push the wave, of course, but because of the Baron, if they can catch Syndra again, which is going to be much harder now, because I feel like they're playing a little more cautiously. Because if Syndra gets caught, then the fights they just win the game, in my opinion. But basically, right now they just play front to back and push the waves and try to see if they can catch Syndra before she can clear them, and they can just win the game off that. They're backing right now. They might be looking to go straight down mid. I think that'd be the most decent play because again they're really ahead. They're looking right now. They might be going for a 1-3-1. can be Sejuani put. I mean, this is a smart move. I think they're just playing very safe, and I get that too because I play, and even in our games when we were ahead, still playing really safe. Though I'm not too sure about the Sejuani. Maybe they're still doing 1-3-1, but maybe she's going back and going mid. That should be good.
I mean, here, if we look at items, we can see that both ADCs are extremely strong right now. Both mid laners are quite strong. Both junglers are quite beefy. I think really what this comes down to is who can get burst down first. I mean, that Cho'Gath is going to be fat, but I mean, that Urgot is basically unkillable right now. The only people who either team is really looking to kill are, you know, Evan and Gruer, who are both, you know, have defensive items in Death Stance, Zhonya's, some healing. Or you're looking on the other side, it's a lot easier, right? You're looking to kill Sever, who has basically no items for sustain or defense. You're looking to kill Nami, who ultimately it's kind of hard to do anything if you get picked. And even that Syndra doesn't have any kind of defensive item right now, has no Zhonya's, has no whatever the MR item is, I forget. You know, you don't have that mobility, so I think Meta must just be very careful here, playing around their item disadvantage and especially their defensive disadvantage, and trying not to get picked because of how strong their pick is. I mean, you have, you know, Urgot, you have Rakan. I'm worried. I'm really worried for Meta Busters in any fight that they're not kind of picking someone. I mean, I feel like Riftsharks can kind of dominate this game at this point, which is a bit unfortunate. They really have to hold out for a while.
Well, I will say, I mean, I think that Meta Busters played that perfectly. Ooh, going in a little bit, we're a little bit greedy, but I think it's fine. Well, because I think Meta Busters is playing this perfectly well. They're really behind right now. They might look for a catch here. Narm is in a really weird spot. Okay, Rakan's getting put in a bad spot too. Because, okay, well, he still gets out, no problem. They use multiple ultimates, that's perfectly fine. And nothing happens. But yeah, though because they're so behind, it's really hard to, you know, get a play. But
I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, just getting through their walls is just not really an option. You know, I mean, everyone who's not squishy has options out of it, which is why it's so hard for Meta Busters to play at this point in the game. You really need your hyper carries to have damage options, which they have. I mean, they've itemized well to do damage, and you can see that they did do a lot of damage. But as a consequence, they've no defensive items that, you know, that Riftsharks really has. I mean, Riftsharks has to make 5 mistakes for every Meta Busters 1, it feels like, you know? So...
No, absolutely. I will say, for that Baron fight, or when they had Baron, I think that Meta Busters just cleared waves like they were supposed to do, and I think that's what their comp is really good at, just playing back and clearing waves. Though they made some misplays going in when they probably shouldn't have, it doesn't matter, because they completely played that, you know, after the Baron, they played that really well, just keeping them from being able to engage. Right now, again, the same thing, going for early wards, to make sure that the fight is just more in their favor, because they're an engage comp. The thing is about the comp of Meta Busters that they want to be at the dragons earlier. They want to get that vision early, so they can have a better chance of actually face checking. But again, Riftsharks are completely just getting prio on those wards. It's making these fights much harder for them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Absolutely. Urgot is pushing top. Oh, they're looking for a Zen play. Oh, he can't get him. Oh, that's fine. He got the flash. Urgot is split pushing top, forcing Cho'Gath to come up there. That's a really good Nyla all in. Okay, getting both of them, and the fight's just... it's just one.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, that's exactly what I was talking about. I mean, even with non-supporting, Silver can't make it out.
Urgot is TPing. Oh, it just...
and for what? Right, I mean...
and Urgot just gets the free... it's just going to end the game now. I mean, granted, it was... Yeah.
This is exactly what I was talking about. You know, it only takes one pick. I mean, you don't have an option out. You don't have anything you can do, and you're just dead. I mean, it's really unfortunate, but
LeBlanc is TPing really smart. I don't know if they can. Oh, did they stop the Zin? Oh, Zinzao still.
They couldn't quite, but even there, it'll be difficult for him to do anything against these two. I mean, these two are both extremely strong, and he has to defend for 20+ seconds against basically the entire.
But if he clears the wave like he's doing right now, which is a really smart move on his part, he's not even dead still. He might actually stop the game.
No, he's going to go down. He did do a lot of work, however, and now we see that even though they get the dragon, they start to have to back off. Syndra's coming up. Yeah, really well played to defend. I mean, whether it'll be enough is questionable, but All they lose Baron and Dragon, but not their base. So that's good.
That's true. I think they're putting in every way they can to not lose this game. Though it's like really, you know, looking at the score, looking at the gold, it looks horrible. They're playing really well to stop the game from ending, which I think again their comp is really good at. And I think that jungler is really keeping the, you know, doing exactly what he's supposed to do, which is really smart on them.
Yeah, and I mean, another thing is that, you know, as this game goes on, you're going to have a max item Syndra. You're going to have a max item Sivir. You know, these are not champs that you can ignore, even right now, right? So Absolutely. They always have a way back in, and I think, I mean, as I was saying earlier, Rift Sharks, I don't think they quite have the scaling to match. So they have to use their lead here for sure, and make sure they can execute before Syndra gets that GA. Before Sivir makes, sorry, not GA, Zanya's. Before Sivir gets, you know, maybe that GA or maybe some kind of item that can help make these fights a little bit longer. I mean, yeah, actually, she already got it, Mercurial Scimitar, right? So this will definitely be interesting to see what this next fight comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that as the game goes longer, it doesn't matter the gold difference if everyone has, you know, full items. So I think that's what they're playing for. Again, it's very, you know, it makes sense that they don't want to surrender, and I think again they're playing perfectly to how they're playing behind. So it's interesting to see what they do now. They have Baron again, but again, Syndra is alive, so he just, Cho'Gath just tanks the wave and clears it. They can't all in him. Makes it much harder, so it's really interesting to see. Though their base is open from the top lane, it looks like they're, okay. Nothing's really happening, but yeah, base is open from the top lane. They're going to have to react at some point. They're going to have to make someone go. Yeah, Sivir's going to go check it. They just push up now while they go look. They just all in. I think they can win the dive if they go for it.
I think you have to be careful. I mean, as we said, that Cho'Gath is unkillable. You know, Sivir has those extra out options now. Nami has that great cap.
Ooh, Urgot looks like he's caught. Okay, that was a really good Reconnar to kind of save that. Okay, so going straight for the back line.
They managed to turn, get Nami out of the fight.
Wall,
Urgot still yet to go down, but Gruer is dead. Big fight here. Big turn. Cho'Gath ends up killing Urgot as well. He can't quite kill the Sivir either. Sivir holding it out, lives.
Oh my god.
And that's the fight I was talking about. I mean, that's the kind of turn, right, that, you know, we were saying could ever always happen. You know, There's still hope. There's still a dream. You have these damage carries that are starting to get their damage, get their defensive items that let them not instantly die. And, you know, if you get caught out, you have to take a bad engage, and that can turn everything. I mean...
Dude, I can't believe it. Yeah, that was really weird for the Nyla. They couldn't get over the wall, so that completely negated them from being able to actually like put their damage out in the fight. And that's kind of where the fight, I think, just went wrong there. But I still think they have a chance. I don't think this game's over yet, but this game's still very close. Even though with the score difference, it's a really close game. A lot more than you would think. This is a really good one to watch. Okay, going in for an all-in. Nyla's just, you know, Nyla just one-shotting them. About to be about expected. They get a tower for it, but now they're at a position where they have to just back off and, you know, just go back to farming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
it's looking really good. Yeah, I think it's just Nyla is just 100% just completely winning this game. Obviously, the team's doing really well, but it's like with them, just one-shotting them, it's just insane. The CS is really good. The CS in this game, 400 to 388. There's so much CS this game. It's actually crazy. The jungle CS is really high. It's looking really good. Taking mid inhib. Then out to the back of the same spot. Yeah, Syndra is dead, so they completely just can free just all in the base.
I mean, yeah.
They can do a dive here, yeah, easily. That's
it. I mean, Xin Zhao, good turn. PB falling low. Fujer yet to even die.
Straight for an end.
The turn, but there's too much damage to Nexus, and no matter how much they win the fight, they're losing the game.
Yeah, that's #1 to Rift Sharks. That was really, really well played. That was a really good game.
Yeah, great back and forth. I mean, even with, you know...
Even with how behind Metabusters were, they still found ways to make the game playable for them, and they still found ways to keep the game going. Even though Rift Sharks with 10,000 gold ahead, or yeah, about 10,000, they still were able to keep the game from being ending, even with Baron, which is, again, a feat of its own. They really played to their comp very well.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, but I must say, Rift Sharks absolutely also played to their comp really well. They always caught the back line. Rakan always went in, catching the back line, and then Nyla going in just to one-shot everyone, and then the Cho'Gath was just ignored. The Cho'Gath just couldn't do anything, which is to be expected. It's with that type of comp, it's really hard for a Cho'Gath game there. But yeah, it was just really well played. I give full respect to the ADC support, the jungle. Everyone did well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we giving out MVPs, or is that not for you?
That's end of the series, I believe, unless I'm mistaken.
End of series? I actually don't know. And I was going to say, I don't know. I think in the chat, someone was complaining that I wasn't talking about the fights. I was probably because I was talking about wards. Wards are really important, I'm going to say.
As, like, after each game.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, MVP is after each game. Okay. That's a bit hard. I would make a case for Avery. I mean, just because of I mean, he got caught a few times, but he did have those solo kills top.
Wait, can I see the champ names again? Or is it people with the blade? I'm sorry.
Just tell me. You can tell me the champ. I'll tell you who it is if you want.
Gotcha. But... Well, I guess. Well, I would say. Oh yeah, sorry. You can keep going. I cut you off.
I mean, no. I'm curious what you think.
Okay, so in that game, Urgot did really well top lane. Completely to be expected. Completely shut down top and completely made top lane like just a island of pressure, which is just really good. Which is really good for a team in general. If the top lane's winning, that's really good. But I must say, Nyla, like you could see in the fights when Nyla wasn't in that fight, they had a lot of trouble, which again makes sense. So I have to put MVP to Nyla, whoever they were. I feel like they made the fight so like lopsided.
All right, no, that's about. I think I agree with you. Okay, so that'll give it to Evan then.
Yeah, I would give it 100% to Evan there.
Congratulations, Evan, on your MVP. This is big news.
Let's go, Evan! Woo!
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, that was a really fun game to watch. Oh, because this is the next one? Ooh, okay.
This draft is definitely more interesting. I mean, we see that bot lane transform into basically a bit of the. Oh wait, what the hell? Who's the? Oh yeah, this is Lux ADC. Okay.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
So Dusini is known for his Lux to some degree, so they definitely were flexing that, and I think that is part of why he picked the Syndra and then picked the Xerath, hoping to counter that Syndra. I think he was trying to bait the Syndra with the Lux. I do believe that is quite a hard matchup for the Syndra because of how much more range the Lux has, and especially how much wave control you have in the mid game, where you can rotate much easier. Or sorry, Xerath. Oh my god, not Lux. I think it's
I get what you mean.
Lux. I mean, Xerath has more range. Lux doesn't. Well, Lux kind of does too. But
they both do. They're both artillery mages. They're both going to clear waves, and instantly it's going to be the same thing that it was last game. They're just going to one-shot the waves and be really hard to push. So you're going to have to catch them out. And basically what the Renekton and Wukong are going to be trying to do this game is literally just protect the Nami, protect the Xerath, and protect the Lux, and completely allow their team to just, poke them out before letting them all in. The Alawi on the other side is making it a little bit harder for them to engage. Alawi just obviously doesn't have any hard engage. The Mumu will kind of fix that, but it looks like this game actually might be the comp wise. I feel like Metabusters has a much better comp in my opinion, personally. But yeah, sorry,
I mean, my counter to that maybe would be that what the Jinx Melio definitely has potential to do a lot of work because of you get insane range enough that it might actually be playable into some champs like Lux, like the Xerath. And importantly, remember what Melio ult does. It basically gives Jinx one get out of jail free card, especially during mid game for a Lux Q, Lux ult, Xerath E, WQ, anything like that where Jinx might get picked. You have a bit of a way out. This goes the same for something like, even on the other side, right? your entire theme is engage. You have 2 artillery mages, and then a Nami plus 2 engage, right? So you're clearly trying to play like a poke them out and then kill them, right? Like a bit of a mix of poke and engage.
Absolutely.
Alawi kind of shuts that down a bit. I mean, it's extremely hard to engage into Alawi. It's hard to engage into Syndra. It's not that easy. It's very hard to engage into Emilio for the same reasons, right? Amumu too. I think this will definitely be an interesting game in terms of which team kind of succeeds, because in any fight that is not at max range, I feel like Rift Sharks wins. The question is that can they make a play with the Amumu? This comes a bit weird. I would make the case that I think that as long as Lux and Xerath don't get too fed, Rift Sharks will win this game. I think Lux and Xerath have to be strong to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's what Corrin's going to be playing for. I think top lane Renekton on its own is a much stronger matchup. Though the Alawi does hard counter Renekton. Alawi's a huge like trigger pick for me. I can't handle Alawi. I fucking hate that champion. She is so strong and like it completely shuts down most engaged champs. So Renekton's going to have a lot of trouble against the Alawi. But again, I think early game, Renekton should have prio. So again, I'm pretty sure Wukong's going to be pathing bot side to just try to get Lux, try to get Xerath fed. And that's going to be the plan this game, is just let them win. And then late game, just let Renekton just be, just stand there. And just hope that, artillery mages could, do their damage.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah. So wait, so who do you think was the better team, like comp-wise? Like,
I would say Rift Sharks is the better team, assuming. I mean, part of it is just that. I mean, that bot lane seems like genuinely awful for Rift Sharks, but it doesn't seem good for Metabusters either. Like, if you're playing into Lux Nami, I mean, they're not doing anything. I mean, they're poking you out a bit in lane, sure, but they don't have that much kill threat, at least not until like 6, and by then you have the Emilio ult. And my only worry would be that Emilio is a bit worse early game than Nami at rotating, so I wonder how those early fights are going to go, especially since I'd say Xerath is a bit stronger than Syndra as well. So I think it's going to be dependent on if those artillery mages are ahead or not. Because if they're ahead and they can do work off an engage from 2 what are not tanks but bruisers, right? Then that's game. But if they can't, that's also game. I mean, any kind of like they have a much more traditional team comp, I think, on Rift Shark's side.
There's Norm in the mid lane just dancing. I respect that.
The fruitcake's handshake again.
Respectfully. Also, it's getting made fun of for saying Norm's name wrong. How do you say his name? Nom? Noam.
Yes,
Noam.
yes.
Okay. Noam. Gotcha. I'm gonna try to say that correctly. Because I'm very lazy. I think Norm's just easier, but Noam makes more sense. Okay. Either way, again, it looks like the same thing. They're gonna start top side and just. Ooh, I think Wukong might actually path top side. We'll see. It might actually be interesting, but at least from the looks of it, Amumu is going to be starting top and pathing bot, which makes sense. We'll see how it goes. Nothing really happening. Syndra's getting some good poke mid, which is, very good to see. Xerath has no sustain. Ooh. Okay, they're getting some good damage down there. That's not bad. That's a good dodge. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's a good dodge. I think, like you said, yeah, they just don't have much kill pressure. If they miss these abilities, Jinx just completely takes over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how this goes, but I just it doesn't feel like something that you'd like taking, I mean.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, it looks like the top lane's not looking too well right now. Renekton's level 2, level 1.
Oh, Jinx going low.
Ooh. Okay.
Can't quite find the kill, but enough that I mean, never mind. I mean, that lane looks rough now.
Yeah, I would again, if I think Wukong path bot side, this would have been really interesting because they can go for a dive here. Well, granted, Amumu is as well. This would have been a really interesting fight, but he's pathing top to see. Honestly, they might be able to. He might be able to help to Renekton out. They might be playing.
Those top laners low, potentially in killing range.
I think both of them are. It depends on the Illaoi. Illaoi's gonna be really hard to kill. Renekton's having a little bit of trouble, but again, to be expected. It looks like just a pretty no death games right now, which is looking pretty good. Call me crazy. If I were Illaoi here, I would TP. But that's just what I would do. Either way. Yeah, it's just farming. Look, Norm might be looking for a gank here. They see them, but if they can get a... Okay, that's a waste of a Q. He has no mana either.
Yeah, no mana, no Q.
A flash is a flash. Ooh!
Oh! Good dodge.
Okay,
nice sidestep, but the Milio follow up enough to do some good damage. Not only trading back a bubble, but nothing much happens. I mean, this is exactly, in the end, what Metabush is looking for. Looking for that reset, looking to get back into the lane. Trade, top lane, still just duking it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can't comment on this matchup at all. I don't know it well enough, but...
Well, all you just gotta know is that Illaoi completely counters with Champ's right for Renekton. But granted, him walking up like that and missing the E was not looking good. I think this Renekton's playing really well. Right now, Illaoi has to back here. Oh, maybe he won't back. Wukong might look for a dive, which is looking really well.
Well, hello.
Who's this?
Momfucker guy.
Oh shit! That's supposed to be fucking server name, not. Oh my god. Oh no.
Whoops.
Oh no.
Whoops.
Oh no. No. Wait, I can't change. Someone else changed it.
Yo, Dean, what'd you do? You see this trading bot whiffs the Q. Nami double hits not to disengage.
This is flip.
I'm just shocked that Stav is on an APC. I mean, he's known for being a really strong ADC player.
Really
Never
wrong.
mind. They kill Evan.
That's a really good first
Never mind. Why'd I open my mouth? Yo, Evan, this is not okay, bro. If you're watching this, bro, please, man, please. Like, he whips his Q, and you have a timer, and then you wait until his Q's back up, and then you trade. Like,
okay, it's okay, it's okay.
He's playing
Everyone
too
makes
much APC.
Everyone makes
and not playing enough into it.
It's all good. I mean, I still think, again, Illaoi is interesting. She's actually really behind here. Not really, sorry, really behind is a strong word, but yeah, 10 CS down right now. No, you know, close to maybe getting level 6 here. It might be interesting to see. Doing a lot of damage with that E. These E's, okay. Oh, I thought you were about to go in with that level 6, but... Because I think Renekton's E was down earlier. I think it's up now, but yeah. Illaoi's playing really well to her strength. Yeah, completely having the lane controlled. The wave state's completely really bad for Renekton. The only thing that could possibly save them is their team coming to help. Norm having to flash out, that's perfectly fine. Interesting to see if Xerath... Yeah, Xerath is again fixing the wave. Wow. And yeah, completely allowing for a dive. They both have flash. He can ult now and just one-shot him if he's willing to. I would love to see this top lane right now. Okay, he goes in.
Oh, flashes out.
That
with
was
the ult.
really well
played.
played.
Trade back and forth, live it. And they're looking for the dive still, but Milio makes a play in corn if he gets...
Milio's coming up for the hover, which is really well played. Okay. That was
in, but misses everything and just unfortunately dies.
He missed the point and click W. He didn't click W.
That's really unfortunate. I mean,
it happens. So that was really unlucky on their part. That allowed him to do really well. Looking at farm mid, Syndra's getting ahead. I don't know who scales harder, Xerath or Syndra. I think Syndra would have a little bit of trouble into Xerath with the range, like later into the game. But honestly, I think if Syndra's kind of not getting contested, this is looking really good right now. Because last game, when versus Metabusters, Rift Sharks ganked Syndra how many times? Oh, was the W1 cooldown? I apologize. I was not looking. But, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, hey, prove me wrong. They just started to gank Syndra right when I said it. That makes complete sense. It's really well played on their part. That's a really good really good Q on the Amumu. Really another good Q and a stun lock. Can't move. Oh, if he lives this, I'm gonna go crazy. Ooh, that was a really good kill.
To take the kill, finish him off. I mean, they got something from that bot gank now, and that is just enough to get the dragon. I mean, these early objectives are important because of feats. Remember, I mean, remember it's first 3 kills now, not first kill, which great change by the way. Hasn't quite happened. Might happen here if Avery makes a good enough play. I mean, Corn is falling low, no mana, likely has to reset. We see they're getting first objective. They also got grubs, so you know, first objective is not a good combo given that if they get that third, you know, that's feats basically guaranteed.
Yeah, but doesn't have hard to get this goal.
No, can't quite get the flash, but trades him back.
Oh, Xerath really good. He hit every Xerath.
And that's 2 kills and drag for a Wukong. I mean, that's about as good as it can go. That's perfect for Metabusters. Great situation. I mean, remember what I was saying where, you know, as long as those carries don't get too ahead, 2-0 Xerath is not exactly bad for them, right? I mean, Avery with a great response to Corn trying to make a play. No mana though, but Corn just has to likely back off or at least take a little bit of a reset.
Corn does have R, keep in mind. So he actually can still go back to it.
This is true.
But Amumu is topside, so he can't really get too much pressure going. He does have TP, so he just pushes the wave, TP's back, and he's looking completely fine for them. No, I mean, he's playing very smart. The only thing that's risky is if Amumu comes to gank, which I think he will. But yeah, if Renekton backs here, this is pretty smart on their part. We'll see, because Amumu might be looking for something here. Clears the wave with perfectly what you need to do. Just backs out. I wonder if Amumu's going to go look for him. There's no way he gets away. Oh, wait, he stayed? Okay. I don't know what they're going to do.
Corn looking for a play. Good damage. Gets out, and he just lets him walk away. He can't go back in. Risk of dying. Question is here. Fujer looking to make a play 2v1, but maybe a bit overambitious. No one pops the ult, and he just goes down. That's third objective, and that's feats going over to the side of this Rift Sharks team, which, wait, I think so. They got third kill first, right?
I gotta say, this Xerath is hitting almost. I feel like I haven't seen them miss a skill shot yet. I mean, when I've looked, during the one fight, hit every ultimate, even though he was getting all in. Like, I'm really liking this Xerath pick. He's hitting everything.
Tusini's, again, you know, there's a lot of mid-laners on the server that are very comfortable with their Tusini, you know, the Xerath is one of his favorite picks.
Oh, okay.
You have to check the PC for that.
Yeah, he might be cheating, honestly. I don't know. Can we get an integrity check on these ultimate hits, man? He's doing really well. No, I'm just kidding.
If only he missed that one, I mean.
Yeah, he had to make it look real. You know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. No, but he's hitting every ultimate. He's playing, again, when you see her there, it's a very niche pick because, again, it's obviously, you know how the champ works. You really got to hit
famine.
Skills. Yeah, exactly. So, like, if you don't hit those skill shots, your champ's just inting. But if you really go well with it, you know, he's doing really well. He's making these fights, you know, he's making this game a huge difference with mid-prio, with all these kills he's getting.
And I think an important thing is, remember, if we look at that earlier game, right, like, Rift Sharks has a much more kind of traditional front-back, maybe not front-back, but like comp that has good scaling, has solid range, has solid ideas of what they want to do, just, you know, play out fights.
He can look at maybe allow he can kill him here.
Do that much though about.
Is Renekton?
Great fight. I mean,
yeah, interesting. Okay, that was a good catch. Yeah, sorry.
Rift Sharks can't do much about the range. I mean, like, you know, if Xerath is popping for max range, I mean, sure, Syndra has QE, you have a Mumu like flash Q, but, you know, you have responses to that in the form of, you know, Renekton or Wukong cannot be ignored if you're just going in by yourself or going in overextended, or even going in and then allowing them to go on your back line. So having the Xerath up is a scary proposition here because it's going to be hard to deal with. I think this game will really hinge on if they can get access to Metabuster's backline and punish them with the not like letting them lay down poke, right? And part of that will play into, remember last game, the wards, PB. I mean,
man, I love
not
wards.
to say Jacob is not, but PB is extremely good at getting those wards down, getting vision prio, and
ooh, that's a really good Q over the wall. If he can get Nami, that's really good. That's a flash from Nami. Even if they don't get the kill, that's still really good prio. Okay. They're getting a really good Wukong all in with a Lux missing the ultimate. Wukong killing the Amumu. Xerath
flash Q takes him out.
Syndra TPs. Syndra misses all her abilities. That's fine. And now they're backing off. That was a equal fight from the looks of it. Yeah, one. No, actually, I'm sorry. No, Norm just got killed. They didn't get one for it. That's a really weird fight.
I mean, at this point, what you're worried about, however, is that everything I was saying, right, with Wukong and all that. It's kind of really hard to do anything as Wukong or Renekton when there's a 3-0 Alawi ready to smack your face. So I'm definitely interested to see how some of these later fights go, given where the strengths are in both teams.
The one
Horn's still looking to fight. Now he's just trying to get out. Yeah, I mean, he's just getting beat down, and Alawi's healing through all of it.
Yeah, what I would say the only thing they can really do in this situation is go for an honest proxy, which you don't really see from from Renekton. Oh, this ain't looking too good for top lane. Top lane is completely demolished right now. I will say I'm very worried about the Alawi because at this point you're gonna need at least 2 to 3 people to deal with him, and that's including Xerath. I think Xerath at least to possibly deal with the Alawi just split pushing. So if Alawi split push, they need 2 to 3 people. There's no way that they can handle him, and they have 6 scrubs, so the tower taking is insane. He's gonna get this tower in less than like 30 seconds while this fight's going on bot lane, or while it's hovering for Dragon. I think Alawi's playing perfectly to what they need to do. Yeah, they're gonna get this tower. It's insane. The amount of damage is crazy, but Syndra's doing really well with these pokes. I mean, he's not gonna win this fight, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that was a weird flash, but I still don't think he wins this fight. Unless I'm crazy. Never mind, never mind, Renekton completely turns it around. I'm gonna shut my mouth. That was perfectly done.
Yeah, I mean, it was great.
That was really well played. They, though Alawi's ahead, he didn't back with any of that gold, so that kind of makes sense that Renekton just goes in there and completely clears it. Will that be a winning situation? I don't think so. I still think Alawi's really strong, but that gives him a lot of prio. He can push for tower now. Bot lane's getting a really good fight going. I think bot lane across the map, I think, bot lane's doing really well on their team as well. I think that Rift Sharks is just completely dominating on both sides of the map right now. Not completely, sorry. They're doing well. They're doing really well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
because Lux has more CS at the moment. Lux is doing pretty well. I think they're. I don't know who scales more. Again, I don't know bot lane matchups at all, but I think it's going pretty well right now. I think both sides are pretty equal except for top lane. But again, I feel like later into the game they'll figure out a way to deal with it. In a team setting, there's a lot more cohesion to stop split pushing and side pressure. That's some really good poke on mid lane right there. Syndra's getting some really good poke damage and some pretty good combos. At some point when she gets really fed, I think that's just gonna be like detrimental for meta busters if they keep getting hit like that. The grind for Rift here is pretty good. I will say, I need to retract something. I don't think Alawi's actually a bad, I'm not really triggered by Alawi. Actually, Alawi's really beatable if you play some specific champions. I've went against a lot of Alawis in my day, and I know exactly how to beat them. So it's like, though Alawi's strong.
You're just covering your ass because people are going to pick Alawi now. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't think that at all. I think that it's just, I'm just saying, like, Alawi's not as bad as, I was saying earlier. But Either way, it's not the point. I think the point is that we're going to talk about this game right here.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean...
But what was Gru's outplay? Did I miss something? Gru's outplay?
I'm gonna be so on it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm kind of. I should be more paying attention. I'm kind of zoned out right now.
Either. I got distracted. I'm getting messages from all sides. He solo killed. Oh shit! I'm minting. Oh my bad. Okay. I'm sorry, I mean, my first time casting. Give me a break here. I'm trying my best.
Gruer's a machine. What can you say? There's a reason that he has made all pro, all stars, whatever, like a few years now. But I mean, even as you say, right? He outplayed Xerath. He managed to get a kill. Even there, you have to wonder, like, is that sustainable? Can they do that long term? Especially if you have frontline like Renekton, who serves as a wall between, sidestepping ability, walking up and looking for a play. I think, if more than last game even, I think Vision will play a large part in this game in terms of how much space each team is allowed to pick. Really take more than anything, and I'm excited to see it.
Looking pretty good. So yeah, I do apologize. This is my first casting game, so give me a break. I'm trying my best here. Like, I know the fundamentals of mainly top lane, of course. I know that, but it's like when it comes to other lanes and speaking about a fight, it's really hard to kind of word things out.
I'm not great either. But I'll be honest. Questionable. Cast was a necessity more than anything, I think. But still.
Absolutely. Because, again, I think these games speak for themselves. I think both of these games, at least at the moment, the first one was insane about how fun it was to watch. The second one, this one right here, it's like, again, they're very equal. I think they're almost exactly even. Obviously, when it comes to gold distribution, top lane has a lot of the gold, but even-wise, all lanes are pretty equal. Oh, they're looking for a completely all-in on Alawi, but again, Alawi completely counters this type of all-in.
Exactly, Alawi's extremely tanky.
Yeah, he can 1v3 easily if he needs Xerath.
I mean,
Xerath
is really dead in bot lane. I mean, we can see that they made a play on the other side of the Noam, PB, and Gru are working together to take down that Xerath, possibly get that first bot tower. And I mean, they're trying to trade the play on the top side, but you're trading a long fight on this Alawi for Dragon and bot tower and Xerath. I mean, it's Xerath, who, I mean, in my opinion, is their win con. So they have to be really careful how they play these fights. I think I'd be a bit worried now because you don't have the same lead that you'd like to have on these, extreme range hyper carry champs that are your ticket out of a traditional team fight, which you can't really take. You don't have a tank. Your front line is going to get nuked by Alawi, who's ahead. I'd be a bit worried if I was Metabusters. But then again, they're taking Atacon, that they took it basically uncontested, which almost shocks me a bit. But that makes sense.
I will say, yeah, they went for a 3-man fight on the top side, and Nami got killed, which is expected. Again, with Alawi, it makes sense that they need 3 people. They lost a lot from the map. They lost Dragon and they lost Tower, but they did get Otacon. So if they're able to make a play out of this, everything that they did before that was good. But it depends how they use this, the GA from Otacon.
No,
if
exactly.
They get out of it, they're getting a tower. They might be already. This is already something that might equalize the play. Again, Alawi just completely takes 0 damage, and yeah, Renekton's trying to go all in, but he's playing a little bit aggressive here. I don't think Renekton ever wins here, no matter how hard he tries. Though he does. Yeah,
even with all, you just get slowly beat down. I mean, good on him for making a play, and he almost had it. He really almost had it. Yeah, I think Flash. I think he maybe forgot the GA. I mean, that's a bit of a misplay, but it's not the worst to stay alive there.
Well, he gets
getting the Flash out of Noam, that really neuters their engage potential, so that's not bad. Ooh, almost had him.
Yeah, no, this is good though. He still has a passive, so he's allowed to just easily push bot lane without having any worry in the world. I don't think the Flash was that bad, honestly.
No, you're right.
He can still put pressure, but it depends on what their team does. Yeah, he's backs now. He doesn't have TP. I'm assuming Otacon still has a long-lasting time. I think they just all go just run it down mid and just try to get as many picks as possible. Try to go for towers. That's what I think that'd be the best play. Looking pretty good. I'm just interested to see how these like full 5v5 team fights go. Again, I don't think Alawi needs to be in these team fights though. I still think Alawi can just AFK split and just have a lot of pressure. Though Renekton is holding their own, which I did not expect, honestly. Not that they're bad or anything, it's just the matchup is just so hard for Renekton. But he's doing really
absolutely,
well.
Yeah.
I think this is really interesting to see. Especially how the difference in gold is. Well, actually, no, they're pretty even. I don't know what I'm saying. They're actually pretty even, correct?
I mean, in terms of the game, yeah. I think it's interesting to look at where that gold is, of course. You know, supports basically even. Bot laners, we're seeing a bit of a lead on the side of that Lux versus the versus Evan. You know, 40 CS up.
Wukong here. Wukong's in a really bad spot.
Wukong
getting a really good
ult hits him just barely. He's spinning his way out. Renekton's here. Nami with the ult, looking to turn, going back in. Boom, Gnome's dead. Can they get more?
Alawi completely stops them from all engaging. They're completely one-shotting the backline. Emilio gets caught by Wukong though, gets the Lux. They're backline for backline. Syndra is still there, looking to make a play. Alawi
has a threat.
Completely stops them from being able to all.
Wukong has to flash out, but that looks like it's going to be the fight. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier about Alawi can really shut down that front line, but I mean, great job on them to get on that back line, which is what they have to do. They killed Emilio, they got the Jinx low, they managed to pick Noam, and now they're forcing Jinx's flash as well. Jinx has to back off, can't hold this tower either. I mean, it's looking up for, I forget everything I said, I guess. I mean, this is looking incredible for meta busters now.
Yeah.
You know, you're taking tier 2, you're set up on the map to position for Baron or Dragon, get vision. Oh, unless Syndra can find something in the back here. Keeps chasing, but gets CC'd and just can't find it.
That's all good. I mean, they're looking for what they can get, which is always respectable. From the looks of it right now, it's that the team, again, with the Alawi, like, Alawi is strong, but if your team can, you know, coordinate really well, it doesn't really matter what the Alawi can do. If you catch that back line and just run away from Alawi when she ults, it just doesn't matter. So it's like, in a solo queue situation, everyone would just run it down and just jump on an Alawi that ults 4 people and gets one shot. But when your team is screaming to back off and play around the ultimate, the coordination is key. And Alawi hates coordination from an enemy team, which I think is what they're doing really well. I think they're playing these fights really well. And looking for another kind of fight here, they're completely at both choke points. Syndra, like, yep, gets a good Q. Maybe Syndra can look for a play here. I'm not too sure we can hit a QE or a QWE.
And this is the kind of posturing that matters, right? Well, can they, I mean, in a mid-range fight,
ooh, that's really good.
That's exactly it. That's what they want. They want to get that engage, get that pick, and then back off. Maybe play with the Jinx reset. I mean, you have the range with the Lux and the Xerath. You can outrange them on the side of Metabusters. But in that mid-range fight, you're going to get slammed by the Syndra. You're going to get slammed by the Jinx. You're going to get slammed by the Emilio helping them out. And you really have to be careful how you play that, as we just saw by Renekton getting popped. I mean, they managed to get Noam back, so it's not too bad. They killed the jungler threat. It likely secures them Dragon. Unless, of course, you're also losing your support. I mean, these fights are so back and forth. Avery going in now. Jinx gets a reset, looking to chase someone down. Xerath might die here. He gets caught by the Alawi E, not quite enough to kill. Oh, barely lives.
Oh, he had the flash
as well.
Oh, he gets hit by
no.
He's kicking the plug. Oh my god, can we get a replay on that? That's crazy.
That's brutal. I mean,
unlucky.
Wukong's still obviously looking to secure this dragon. I mean, Noam being dead, but he's now back up. You know, their team just fell too fast. They couldn't do enough damage before they entered a really, that really significant fight. And now Noam's back. Noam's gonna get it, and that might be, it's hard to see what else is gonna happen here. That's good for.
That's a really good engage. Again, they're doing the same thing, getting Wukong in the backline, but it just doesn't matter because he's doing it by himself. It looks like he was trying to go for a steal. It just didn't work out. They're looking really well. I want to say one thing from the previous fight with the Dragon real quick. Again, it's just like the way that the Rift Sharks played around their, the control of the choke point. They Nami was looking for wards, trying to get prio because they can't engage, in darkness. Oh, they're going for a really good engage here. Again, just every engage they go for is just working out for them. They're getting really good catches. Norm is making really good plays with these ultimates. I don't think he's had.
And Jinx Rocket finds the kill. Oh no, this is disastrous. I mean, that's a Baron. That's Baron right there.
Absolutely.
Jungler's dead, top laner's dead, support is dead. There's no chance of really making any significant play around that mid laner, bot laner anymore. I mean, they're still trying, and they still have the range to try. But they don't have the vision. They get caught. Lux is dead. I mean, they're not even going to hunt for more. They're just going to take the objectives as they're given. I mean, that's 1,500 gold. They're already up 2K. You have a strong team. This Xerath, 3 kills for the past 28 minutes. Past what? 20 minutes. I mean, he's just not punching the same. I think this is an extremely difficult game for Medbusters to win.
Okay, Wukong tries to go for a steal again, just doesn't work out.
I mean, he has to try, right?
They might catch, yeah, absolutely. Catching the Xerath here is really good. Oh, Syndra's missing those Qs, that's fine.
It's not
okay,
enough.
What they do here is most likely back as quick as possible and just run it down mid while Xerath is dead. Oh, maybe they don't have to back. I don't know. They're kind of low on HP. I mean, Wukong's pushing top right now. They just gotta be a little more careful about where they're positioning. If Jinx dies here, that's really bad.
Yeah, I haven't overextended a bit, but not quite enough without committing that Renekton ult. And okay. I mean, all you have to back you up is that Nami, and yeah.
Okay, they'd be cautious. Jinx just backed. Really weird timing on the back, but I think it's completely fine. I think they're so ahead it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more of just a play safe,
Absolutely.
You have 6 scrubs. You have 2 dragons. The other team has 2 dragons too, but you have position to take advantage of it, go for a soul longer in the game. In terms of late game fights, unlike last game, I don't know that I favor Medabusters comp. Like I said, if those utility mages get ahead, it's rough. Otherwise, I don't really know what you do. Long-term fights, you're going to be losing unless you can get a lot of chip, get a lot of maybe a pick or something. I'm really worried for Medabusters here, and I'm curious to see if they can do something to stop Rift Sharks from just walking this one out.
Absolutely. I think that it's like Alawi just can completely free take sides. This doesn't matter. Looks like maybe looking for the catch on the Xerath. I mean, they're just dwindling the base little by little. Lux had the flash stat, which is really not looking good for them. If a Jinx a good R, they might
Jinx has to reset. Maybe takes tower, gets another reset.
Maybe goes for an all-in right now.
Yep, looking for Stav here. Stav goes down.
He doesn't get the kill, but he still gets it. Okay, he's running away. Okay, Lux.
Wukong trying to make a play, but Gnome ult just shutting him down. And now, can they back away, get the wave down? They're taking inhib. They still have that Baron buff. They still have the grubs. They're looking to end. I mean, the only person they lost is their ADC.
They have an easy tower
take to kill 2 people.
Emilio is tanking tower, but it's really not good.
Emilio's dead. Gnome's dead too, but they take down both. And
Nami is spawning, but it's GG. Wow, that game was insane.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say it's one-sided, but I think the draft put them in a position where they really, I don't think Medbusters could ever really afford to fall behind, and unfortunately that's what happened.
Absolutely. That game was insane.
Yeah. Good series. I mean, in terms of MVP that game, do we give it to Alawi? I mean, what do you think?
I honestly have to, and the main reason why, well, it's to be expected that Alawi was going to win that kind of matchup, right? But to be as strong as they were, to the point where they get 4v1 to 3v1 while still getting a kill, I think was completely worth an MVP. I would have to give it to Avery, right?
I'm completely comfortable with giving it to Avery. I mean, that is not to say that the people who didn't give MVP play that series well. I think Brewer did a bunch of work both games.
Norm did really good ultimates.
Exactly. Norm did a lot of work in the jungle. And even to the other side, I mean, I think Tusini played both games quite well. Fujer, I mean, You know, maybe you got caught of it there, eh? But I think you had some really important plays and fights to make space. I mean, so did Gnome, right? Both junglers did well with that. Korn had some really high impact plays. So I feel like who am I not mentioning yet? Again, both games, the Nami looks strong. I mean, definitely a viable ban option given how comfortable Jacob does look on it. And I honestly, the looks wasn't bad. I do think you're a good enough ADC that I'd say that Stav should be on ADC just because I think ADC is not exactly weak right now, especially with an organized team, and I think he's one of, if not the best ADC in the server. Actually, no, not the best, but sorry, I can't, you know, I have my commitment there, but definitely one of the best ADCs in the server, and I think leveraging that is something that team has done very well in the past. So, I mean, I think that game 1 was extremely close because of how much damage that server was doing, right? But yeah, good game. I mean, that was a good series. It was fun. Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. It was a really, really good game. So
do we interview now? Someone, are you in Twitch chat?
Everyone want an interview? Yeah, I would love that.
Anyone on either team want to talk? I mean, I think typically this is done when you draft or do it during the series, but I'm assuming someone's watching. I'd be down to anyone on either side.
We got to get into the game.
Oh shit! Is it starting like now?
Yeah. So I'm gonna cut stream, and then 4 minutes in the future we will start the next one.
Yippee!
All I'm hearing is that they don't want to hear Avery talk. He's gonna say some things about Dean's bad management, I'm sure, and
oh my god,
he's trying to censor it. Dean's trying to censor it. Honestly, the oppression in the Rift Sharks franchise has gone unspoken for a long time now.
It's like, hey, what the fuck are you talking about?
Iron Fist here. I'm giving you guys the truth, okay?
Okay, kick him out. Kick him out this season.
Watch.
Get him out of here.
I'm trying to cut this. Derek, shut the fuck up. Thanks everyone for watching.